Welcome to Videogame Rants, a series where me and my friends rant about video games into your dome piece. If you'd like to discuss with us, please leave it down in the description below. Use this as a podcast if you will like. Put us down while you clean your room or wash the dishes. You also have the option to watch the video and see my trash edits. If you'd like to see more content like this, or even us rant about anime, like and subscribe. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I think I'm gonna have to say it. In my opinion, I think Fantasy Strike is probably one of the best fighting games that came out in recent times. It's really good. Probably the easiest and best for any newcomer to hop into and then use this experience to play almost 90% of every other fighting game. They do an excellent job with that. One big, huge thing I think that's really good about this is the character videos and the tutorial. They do such a good job with the tutorial. It kind of reminds me of Guilty Gear, and Guilty Gear tutorial was so good. They teach you everything about the game, the movement, the buttons, how to fight, everything, and they do it in such good detail and in like a kind of game wise. You have to follow these balloons and hit them and jump and attack them. When you're learning the movements, they have them in different places. You gotta try to get them while using your movement options. I think that's so cool and so helpful. And I think this is way more helpful than just having text bars appear out of nowhere and just telling you to do this with no voices, no music, no nothing. This is so much more better. The character videos are amazing. I learned way more in those character videos than I learned half the time by myself. There are times where the video teaches you stuff that the game doesn't even explain to you. Like Geiger, one of his specials in the air actually holds him in place. But it also tells you that you can use that to stall time in the air so that your gear charges up. They help so much, way more than I would ever expect from a game to provide you. My favorite character, the Gray, his super in the air, I thought was useless since it only hits for 1 and it just jabs you. Apparently, if you hit it on counter hit, it does 3. I did not know that. These things are so helpful, and it comes just from the character videos, not even from the descriptions of the moves and everything else, which are really good too. The move list for every character is so small that they have so much space to use just to describe how the move works. If it's invincible to throws, all the different buttons that can come off of it, all the different cancels you can do. That's so great. If you see Street Fighter, you go over the move, you don't know what it does. I was actually just playing a new character, Colleen. I just got her, and she has a counter. You look at it on the character move list. I had no clue that was a counter. I had to sit there and play like 2 online matches just to figure out that was a counter. What? But then you go in this game and you know one of your jabs is throw invincible and off the bat. I think that's so helpful for new players. The mechanics, the fighting mechanics, or just like everything about the basic game is also very helpful. You have your jab, which is your square button. You have your special move. You have 2 special move buttons, which is just triangle and circle. There are no motions in this game. No quarter circle forwards, no down motions, no Z motions, no half circle motions. They're all just a button click. The only variations to buttons you can do is a back and a forward, and that just depends on the character. Some characters don't even have that, which are really easy to do. There's also some characters who have a hold down button, but that's very rare. The only character I can think of right now is Sasuke, Jaina, and Geiger, but that's only Geiger and Jaina only affects their projectiles. Then you have a grab, and then you have your special move, and your special move is only 1 button, R1, and that's it. You have 5 buttons to use, and that's it. Also, blocking in this game is super easy. There's no lows, and you can't hit by highs, so all you have to do is hold back. The mechanic of health bars in this game also helps with that. Health bars are actually divided into little sections, which is super cool, and that's what really, as you can see, I'm very happy about it. I enjoy that the most. It's split off into sections, and each section is 1 hit. So if you get hit once, that section is gone. Every character has a different amount. So it's not like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. It's like this character has 3,000 health. This character has 9,000 health. This character has 10,000 health. And you don't know unless you search it up, or like, why am I dying faster than you? You would never, you know now. Rushdown characters have 5 bars. Ranger characters and some wildcard characters have 6. There's a couple wildcards with 7, and then grapplers have 8. That is so unique to the game, and it's very helpful for seeing new players like, oh, I need to hit this person this many times, I need to do this many times. And it also helps you understand how much health you have and how much you're in danger. If you only have 2 hit points left and you know the person, your opponent, has 90% of his combos are 2 hits, just don't try to not get hit, and you know this. If you're in Street Fighter, you have to try to, unless you know the game a lot, you have to really guess, oh, will this combo actually kill me? Should I play a little more riskier because I don't know if I can die to a combo like this? The health bars in this game really help. Not only is this game really good for new players, but it's also good for experienced fighting game players. Yes, there is no high-low mix-ups, and yes, you can grab with one button and easily. There's also really good ways to beat it. Blocking, actually, if you block any special move, which again is just a button press of triangle or circle, it chips away at your ticks. So you can only block 3 special moves before one of your gauges goes away immediately. That really puts pressure on people who are just trying to sit there and block and turtle the whole game. You can't sit there and block like in Street Fighter, where yes, you take tick damage, but it's not that crazy. Or in Dragon Ball FighterZ, where you can block 800 for 800 hours and nothing happens to you. You can take damage, is nothing in that game. In this game, you hit 3 special moves and your tick is gone. Yes, you can heal it back after, I think it's like 5-6 seconds, it heals back, but you really need to be playing aggro then. Also, grabbing, the way to counter grabs is actually just standing still, which is really cool too. Street Fighter grabs are 4 frames. So you have to basically predict or guess when your opponent is gonna grab, and that's really hard to do in the first couple rounds when you're just fighting the person. You can do, since there's a small cast of characters, you also just know the setup of every character and when they should grab. Quince is an illusion character, and his grab setups are normally like, he does his triangle to grab. Just stand still when he does that. If you know your opponent grabs a lot during that, stand still and you immediately parry them, actually do damage back and get some ulti gauge, which is really beneficial for people reading it. The characters in this game are so unique and so fun to use. I love them so much. They split up the characters into 4 sections. They have zoners, rushdown, grapplers, and they call them wildcards who don't fit any architects. And these characters are so fun to use. My favorite section is wildcards. I love them the most, and they're the most fun to use. Characters in each archetype is super cool. The 2 rushdown characters, Valerie and Sasuke, are mad different. Sasuke is more focused on resets and mix-ups and putting a lot of pressure on you, while Valerie, yes, she's also put a lot of pressure on you because she is a rushdown character. She's more on poking and baiting because she can do cross-ups and backsteps, and she has a pretty good range for a rushdown character. So yes, they're 2 of the same archetype, but they're very different and it's very unique. There are 2 online modes, ranked and casual. Casual, you just went up to 4 and you only have to choose 1 character. The real flavor of the game comes in ranked, and I think it's probably the most unique ranked system in my opinion. Ranked, first of all, you have to choose 3 characters, and they're not like assists. You actually have 3 separate battles with different 7 characters. When you start playing ranked, they actually put you in a tournament bracket type game mode. How the battles work is you have your 3 characters, your opponent has 3 characters, and they randomly select one of those characters to fight each other. If your opponent wins their character, they cannot use them again, and they have a crown and they win. If you lose, your character gets X'd out and you lose, and the process restarts again and restarts. If none of you win 3 games straight, the characters who lost actually goes back into the bracket and they randomize them again. So you have to win with all 3 of your characters. So you have to be decent or good at all 3 of your characters, which I think is really cool. So you have multiple chances of winning. I feel like the game that's setting the biggest foot forward for this is Guilty Gear. The newest Guilty Gear is setting everyone into different sections, so they're gonna have a different play style. They're making it a little more simpler, maybe a little too simple for Guilty Gear, but simpler for newer players to get into, which is really good. They've always had a great tutorial, which is super helpful for newer players. The characters are very different. I never deep dived into Guilty Gear like that, but the characters I have played were super unique. Their personalities were really nice. Their personalities are very unique. Their buttons were super unique. Their specials were all different. So I think Guilty Gear right now is setting the best example for this, and I feel like newer or older companies too, for fighting games should start doing stuff like this. Maybe you want to get a little more advanced in the future, yes, but not so advanced where it's gonna break your fingers. No, just keep it simple. If you want to put some Z Dragon Fist, alright, that's not the most complicated stuff. But don't do no quarter circle, half circle stuff where it's like in the smallest frames timing too.
楽しみにしてるぜ。